Hello, everyone. I am Adam, and thank you for joining me for this week's development update and community Q&A session. We've got several things to jump into right away, and so let's get to it. As always, our agenda, we're going to talk about latest updates, what is upcoming, and then you can ask questions throughout the stream. All you need to do is there in chat, type the word question, and then we have a magical robot that collects them for us and reviews them. And Robot is very kind. We pay Robot very well, very happy with their life. And so Robot is getting all of that going. And we'll get to questions at the end of the show. We also have a special guest today. So we will you can find out who that is on Twitter if you want to surf out on the World Wide Web out there. But otherwise, we will get right to the special guest pretty soon here. So let's jump into latest updates. First of all, we have on the Pathfinder Nexus side with some Pathfinder content. All of the currently released one shots are now live and you can access those. That is Mark of the Mantis being the most recently released. It is now live on Pathfinder Nexus. Really love these one shots. You should check them out. They are very bite-sized adventures that you can grab. You can use them to try out Pathfinder Second Edition. You can use them when in the context of an ongoing campaign. If you just need a little bit of a break from whatever you're doing, you can use them if a player doesn't show up and you want to pause your regular scheduled activities in a campaign. You can throw in one of these one shots. Really great bite-sized content there, and all of them are now available on Pathfinder Nexus. We also have some platform enhancements that are going on behind the scenes, and these are really important because we have things that we will be sharing that are important to just the overall scope of what you can consume as a fan out there. So the content that I just mentioned, but we also are trying to march down the road of launching Pathfinder Nexus in its full form. And as we do that, we need to make sure that we are doing things like search is working incredibly well. So we've got some updates going on behind the scenes there. All the data that is coming in through the early access phase has been invaluable to help us fine tune the things that we need to tweak and make better. And then image optimization. So this is the thing in some of the places we want to make sure that your mobile data is performing very well for you. And so we have some image optimization work that is going on, some polish elements going on in the overall experience with clicking and feedback. So again, all of these different things on the platform level that are really important for us to deliver the polished experience that we aim to deliver with all of the nexuses. I guess nexuses. We still haven't decided what the plural of that is. So I'm going to go with nexuses. But as these start to go online, all of that's going to be happening behind the scenes, but really just calling that out here. First of all, as a shout out to our development team, they're doing great work out there, but also for you as fans to understand that that activity is happening, and all of it is coming together and getting us ready for that launch. And then work in progress, we have Book of the Dead and Knights of Last Wall. I believe that we are, the last I saw last night is we are done with those, and those are going to be ready as soon as they release. Those are also going to be available on the platform. Book of the Dead is a killer killer book. It really is incredible. I love the books that Paizo is coming out that are really focused on different kinds of topics. So Secrets of Magic was such a breath of fresh air. You have Guns and Gears that feels very much like the subject matter that it has there. Book of the Dead is no exception. It is going to be a new classic, and so can't wait to see that one. And so both of those pending releases are going to be caught up now. So in Lost Omens and in the rule books categories, Pathfinder Nexus is now up to date, and we will be keeping track with all of the newly released content as well. And then Little Trouble in Big Absalom. So we're going to have a free adventure that is going to come to the platform that I have actually run that adventure twice, I believe, and it is a ton of fun. It is always fun to be kobolds. So definitely jump in on that one. I imagine that one will get out at some point this week or early next. And then Fall of Plaguestone is one of the first non one shot standalone adventures that is coming. So that is also on the way. Those are the two that we are currently working on. And then for sure, tons of character engine work is happening behind the scenes. We are cracking the egg and really, just actually cracking the code of the matrix of how all of these things work together, and work is going really well on that. I hope to start showing you at least little sneak peeks of how that all works in the coming weeks, but stay tuned for that. Upcoming. So on the Pathfinder Nexus side, you can see early access phases. The adventures are what are currently continuing. We're in a good spot with the game compendium at this point. Of course, we will be keeping it up to date as all of the game releases, the content releases come out. And then character management, definitely deep into that. I also wanted to provide a quick update on our upcoming. It is still planned, so that part of this update is confirming that this show is still planned, but it is called The Claw Firm. And so we have The Claw Firm Pathfinder actual play that is coming. We had some delays related to the pandemic for safety reasons, but we're trying to get everyone together again to play that. We have an incredible cast that is going to be jumping into an all new original Pathfinder adventure with second edition that is going to be headed up by the incredible Mark Meir. He is one of my favorites out there. Love playing with Mark. And we have Jody Hauser. We have Erica Fermina, Blue Jay, and Xander Jean-Ray. And so incredible cast of characters. And then I want to make sure that we are also noting another change. We previously announced that Eric Campbell was going to be in the cast, but Eric is going to be transitioning to a producer role on the show. So he's going to be show running for us on this. And I'm already terribly excited about all of that with the conversations that I've had with Eric. So Eric's going to be stepping out to do that part of running the show. And we are going to, in that vacated spot, pull in Eliza Pearl, who is one of my favorites as well. I've played with her in the past in several live streamed games, and she is really, really amazing too. So we have an incredible cast coming together for that. And currently we don't have the filming dates completely locked down, but we are looking at a target a little closer to the middle of this year. Because we've been trying to prioritize safety for the cast. So looking at that right now, we will keep you posted on all of it. But again, confirmation that we very much still plan to have this show, and I can't wait to see what this cast puts together with it. All right, without further ado, we also have an announcement, and I hope that I am now joined by a special guest, Sam DeLev. Sam, are you here? Yes. I see Sam. Oh, hold on.
On the internet. Hello.
Yes, you are on the internet. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Oh, beautifully. I just spent a morning, well, a few moments at least, confirming the Latin roots of Nexus just to be sure about the pluralization.
Okay, so what is the verdict?
Well, so Nexus is the first declension singular masculine, so the plural would be nexi. That said, as chat correctly identified, in English we don't always use the Latin pluralization rules sometimes, so nexuses is also English correct. Nexuses or nexi.
Perfectly acceptable for English. Understood. I think we've settled the internal debate. And so, Sam, thank you. I brought you here to settle that debate. And so I guess that we can probably call it a day, right?
All right. There we are. All right. Thank you for joining us. It was great to...
It was a great show. Thanks, everyone. So we have some really incredible news this morning. We are going to be announcing on the Éarte. Do you see what we did there? On the Éarte is a monthly after show for children of Éarte. And so, as we have previously shared, we are going to be streaming each week of the month except for the first week of the month. So that is an off week from playing. But in that same time slot, we are going to be having an after show. And we have asked, and they have graciously accepted Sam to come and host that. So I cannot wait to work with Sam, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this after show. The first one of these is going to be next Tuesday. Am I thinking of that right? Yes, next Tuesday, April the 5th, and it's going to be in the same time slot at 6 p.m. Pacific. And our first guest for that first after show is going to be our fearless leader game master, Deborah Ann Wall. So, Sam, thank you so much for agreeing to do this show.
Fearless, you say? I look forward to testing that assertion. No, we're of course going to be very well behaved on this after show, as I think, broadly known for. It will all go very smoothly.
Very, very smoothly.
Just like the game.
The game is going pretty well so far. It's been a lot of fun. Deborah is truly epic in the way that she's putting this together. I love the cast, and the players have put so much work into defining these characters. I feel like I know them already just a couple of episodes in. And so really excited to see what is going to happen on the show. So for anyone who doesn't perhaps know what an after show is, can you explain a little bit about what's going to happen with this?
Yes, absolutely. So in the same way that at our own role-playing tables, when we finish a session, very, very often we spend at minimum 1 hour talking about it. And did you see the part? And then you did that, and then it was like, oh my gosh, it was awesome. And after shows like that, but for streaming.
This is going to be so great. I'm so thrilled to be working with you, Sam. I mean, I needed this in the morning. I mean, I am further down the time zone spectrum than you, and I still have been so asleep, but I am not anymore, and I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, this after show is going to be an opportunity for some behind the scenes looks into what's going on, opportunity on almost, directors or actors commentary on some of the things. So we plan to bring in different members of the cast for different months. And as I said, Deborah is going to go first with this, but really, really looking forward to being able to, dissect and being able to just dive into more of this incredible world that Deborah is putting together. So I'm putting you on the spot here, Sam. What is, I would love to hear one of the questions that you are going to ask, that you intend to ask Deborah as we come into our first episode.
I should ask, does it have to be non-spoilers for our audience, or can we take credit those first 2 episodes, given that episode 3 is airing tonight?
Well, let's keep it general spoiler might be fine. Yeah, general spoiler, because I almost feel like I know what you're about to say, but let's see if I'm right.
Did you intend to torment your players with the structural construction, or was that purely a happy accident?
That is an excellent question, and if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, you should certainly jump in and see what Sam is talking about. And we were talking just before this stream about how sometimes as a game master, you are able to, just through sheer reputation, be able to throw something out, and your players, because of that reputation, are going to yank on that thread. So very much so could be what is happening here. So yeah, we cannot wait for, on the Éarte, there are going to be plenty of opportunities for you as fans to be able to come in and ask questions. So similar to what we are doing here with these dev updates, which, by the way, if you have any questions about what we're doing with any of our Nexuses or any questions about any of our content that we're doing here on Demiplane, you can ask those questions now by typing in chat with the word question before the question. You're going to be able to do that same thing with on the Éarte. So if you have questions for any of the cast members who are going to be participating, for Deborah next week on April the 5th, any questions for Sam, you'll be able to ask those as well as the show is going on. So if you have those burning questions, we will answer what we are able to answer anyway as we come together for on the Éarte.
Burning questions being a particularly apt phrase.
I didn't mean it. I mean, I'm just a walking
Of course
dad.
not. No, you didn't.
Fine.
No, certainly. I believe you uncritically and without insight.
That's it. So ultimately, when that is coming, so Sam, we also have a little bit of a nugget that we might bring into the show occasionally, which is right now after each episode and each session where we play together, we film a little, I don't know, 5, maybe sometimes 10-minute, kind of decompression with the cast. And so there are going to be some potential behind the scenes footage that we might even be able to show during the show.
I can do things with that. But in all seriousness, this shows an opportunity to engage with a really cool streamed game that I think a lot of people should catch, that I have enjoyed even the first 2 episodes of, and simply to be very enthusiastic with people who have put a lot of investment into that story. A story can only sustain an after show if there is a lot of care in what's being done, and that's absolutely evident in Children of Éarte. So our little after show on the Éarte merely gets to be the vessel for all of the enthusiasm that these players and this GM have already put into it. And I just get to be excited at them.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I'm going to let you go, Sam, and we're going to get to questions. Thanks so much for joining me. I cannot wait for the first episode of the Children of Éarte after show that we are calling On the Éarte next Tuesday, April the 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Can't wait to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump into questions now. So if you have questions, let me see what we got. I got a couple of questions coming in here. And so if you are, if you have any questions, ask those right now. Type question, then the question following that. If you don't have very many others, that is perfectly fine. I will get through what we have, and then I will head on to do all of the mountain of work that is waiting for me today. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I love this stuff, but it is a mountain that I'm going to get through. So I'll jump into that right after. So Rakame Adophilus, hi Robot, thanks for your work. That's not a question, but I can tell you that Robot, they really, really appreciate that. And thank you so much for being kind. So also from Rakame Adophilus, are there any plans for Sam to run a game on the channel? No current plans, but we like Sam, so let's see what happens. I certainly would not shut the door on any way, any opportunity that we could try to work with Sam. So thanks for that. All right, I currently do not have any other questions. If you have any, I'm going to talk for maybe 30 more seconds, and I will answer those. So anything that you want to know about what we're doing, I think you've seen in the past, I don't shy away from answering any and all of those. Oh, we had one come in. I knew that it would happen if I gave the going once, going twice thing. So Anchor 89, Will there be deities in the compendium? Can we search for them by alignment? That is an excellent question, and I'm going to assume that you're talking about Pathfinder Nexus here. And the plan is, yes, that we would plan to have deities in the game compendium at some point. We have several other game elements that we will be adding to the compendium from a feature perspective. The kind of spread of the features are in a place where we like it for launch, but the amount of elements, we still certainly have some that we're going to squeeze in there as much as we are able. So deities are on the list for sure, as well as things like conditions, hazards. There will absolutely be more game mechanical information that will be available in that game compendium, before and after launch. We're going to continue to add those things. All right, several questions coming in now. Everyone got the point, I think, there. Decron 82, are book bundles and discounts being considered? They are not in the consideration status anymore. I certainly can confirm that we will have book bundles and discounts for those bundles. Bundles are on the way. Bundles will be in place before a full launch. And so you should be seeing those. We are working on that right now. And I don't necessarily have even a vague time frame yet, but that is on the short-term horizon, and it's something the team is actively working on now. So keep in mind with any of these bundles, so we will have a variety of options there. So we will have a rule books bundle where you can buy all the rule books at one time, and once you do that, you will get previously purchased content credit for anything that you have bought. So if you have bought things as a pre-order in early access at this stage, the money that you're spending there is something that will go towards unlocking that full bundle where you can secure discounts for future products that are coming inside that bundle and so on. So yes, bundles are a thing. It's something that we will be doing for sure. Rav Bunny, can we get some JC Miller pulled into some Demiplane? I will take that recommendation very much to heart because I am a big JC Miller fan. Just talked to them at GaryCon actually. So yes, we did some talking. So don't read into that too much. But we were catching up, and it was great to see him. All right, Anchor 89. Will we see content sharing available before character management? Hard for me to say. Always in motion, the future is, but it is something that is going to be going in parallel development. The intent would be we would like for that to be in place before character management, but it might not hit before that. It's certainly something that is an important part of launch for us. Wow, I don't know how to say that one. Oh, I see it now. Utini. Yes, got it. With Jawa. So we've got some Jawa references going on there. When I first looked at it, it was just overwhelming. So apologies for that. ETA on Pathfinder 1E and or Starfinder on Demiplane. So we have no current plans to do anything with first edition of Pathfinder, but I can say that we are talking about Starfinder. Nothing definite to confirm there yet, but there are many talks happening on the Starfinder front. We'll keep you posted. Anchor 89, will I be able to send a link to Nexus content and have my players be able to log in and see the graphics? So that might be that's a pretty specific use case that I might not be able to address incredibly well without a little bit more of a demonstration of what's happening there. But the intent is, yes, all of those things would be something that would be shareable. We have more enhancements that are coming, especially with images in the future, things like light boxing, ways to be able to, quickly share them, be able to download them, and so on. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that front as well. Neurolancer, when is the Pathfinder actual play coming? We don't have a firm date for that yet, but we are intending to film it a little closer to, kind of the May-June timeframe. And so, depending on post production, I imagine we will see that sometime, closer to the middle of the year. But it is going to be an in-person actual play production. It is going to have some minimal post processing. So once we film that, again, right now our target is May for that, but there could be factors that impact that, just as we have seen come up when we wanted to film it a little earlier in the year. But we will share all of that news as soon as we have it. Rav Bunny, Free League, Vaesen Forbidden Lands actual play, maybe. We'll see. We have some Free League things planned and nothing that I can confirm yet, but I am a huge fan of both of those games, and I would not be surprised to see not only Free League content, because that is a definite, we will have that, but perhaps we will see something with Forbidden Lands or Vaesen. Right, let's see, the dragon, 3 dragon minimum. What has been the biggest challenge thus far for the team bringing Pathfinder to full release? Well, the biggest, what we talk about often is that it is not necessarily that any one problem is unsolvable. It is in the breadth of the, that's what makes it complex. Not any single thing that, oh, how are we going to solve that? Almost everything is like, oh, this is math. Oh, this is string manipulation with text that we need to do something with it. So the problems taken in isolation are not necessarily incredibly difficult to solve. It is just then you have to solve it 1,000 times, and so that breadth of the of what's going on with Pathfinder definitely is a little bit of a challenge. So I would say, as we're looking at character management, it is the crowning jewel and cornerstone of what is happening here with what we're initially launching with Pathfinder Nexus. And that is certainly the thing that is going to take the most time and is the most complex. But we are very excited to see the start that we have on that, and the flexibility of the system that we're creating. It's kind of a thing when you think about all the optional rules for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's the sort of thing that even in my past life, I would have just had crippling anxiety about to think about. But with our game engine and what we're putting together here and the flexibility that we have, I am super optimistic that we're going to be able to provide a solution that is going to work for people at the table. The character piece is certainly the biggest challenge, but it's not necessarily that it's like, how are we going to pull A off or B off or C off? It's more that, like, how are we going to be able to touch on all the things A through Z that we need to do? And one more question, which looks like it's about perfect with timing. Anchor 89, will there be a subscription option for rule books and one for Lost Omens, even an adventure subscription? So at the moment, we don't have anything to share on that front. What I can say is we are aware that Paizo offers subscriptions, which are kind of like a pre-ordering mechanism, and as they do that, we are having discussions about potential interactions with that. But again, nothing to confirm at this point, and we will keep you posted on that. We will offer subscriptions on the Demiplane side as we move forward, but we don't have any of the details ready to share there yet. And then Neurolancer, will you be creating new homebrew classes? This was a problem with the other application, which shall not be named. We don't have to treat it like a hidden bad guy out there or anything, but we definitely want to be able to have a system that is flexible enough to support all of the creativity that is poured into all of these games. And something like a homebrew class, absolutely on the radar. I can't tell you exactly when that's going to happen because, again, lots and lots of ground to cover. But I can say that the system and the engine that we're using for this absolutely has the flexibility to be able to do that, and we intend for that to be the case as we go further down the roadmap and everything that we're putting together. All right, it looks like a lot of time. Thank you so much for the questions. Again, thanks for Sam for joining me here today. I cannot wait to see on the Éarte, our after show that's coming for children of the Éarte, starting next week at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I hope everyone has a good one. See you tonight for episode 3 of Children of Éarte. Have a good one. Later, Gators.